Hi, everybody. This is me, AC Mims of www.ltheoryexperience.com. Hi, MSJ Christina. Thank you for joining. Who else is out there? Good morning. Hi, Vinyl. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Hi, Cornhusk. Thank you guys for joining me this early Saturday morning. Hi, Olivia, Popular 44, and Bora 82. I'm so glad you guys are joining me early on this Saturday morning. Um, so, on my blog, I write primarily about my experiences with divorce and infertility and how going through those experiences really helped to transform my life. And I share some of the tips and practices that I learned on that journey to help other women transform their lives. And so I do that via self care tips. I do individual life coaching. Oh, thank you. I'm like in my little ratty t shirt and decided to put my hair back just so that I don't scare you all. Hi, Olivia. Thank you. That's really sweet of you to say that. Thank you. Hi, Avon 1302. So, on my blog, I do a variety of things to help other women that either may be going through their own experiences, but are really just trying to transform their life and move away from that life of the supposed tos and what we think we should be doing and what our resume looks like, and really living an inspired life and a life of liberation. So, if you've never been to my site, ltheoryexperience.com, that's what the L stands for, liberation. I am a strong believer in personal, physical, spiritual, mental liberation. And so, over the past few months, I've been writing about self care. That is such a topic that is near and dear to my heart because I didn't grow up with anyone telling me that you should practice self care. I grew up in that traditional life, especially if you're a black woman who grew up whose family was religious, with this idea that you're supposed to take care of everybody else first. Thank you guys so much for those hearts. I really appreciate that. And grew up believing that you come last. You have to serve the church. You have to serve the community. You have to serve your family. You have to serve everybody but yourself. And in my family, I never had my own room. And I know that's a luxury, but there was always three or four of us siblings in a room. And we always had somebody or a relative that was staying over. Hey, Kadire, or somebody that was always there. And while that was very noble of my parents, it sent the message to me that I don't deserve to be taken care of, that I'm supposed to be helping, 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 and putting myself last. And we know, especially as women, how that continues over into your job, into your relationships. And pretty soon, you end up with an empty cup and you feel resentment. At least I'll speak for myself. I don't know about y'all. But that's what I experienced. I felt resentment and I was angry that I felt like I was doing everything to help everyone else and that was not reciprocated in any kind of way. And it took me going through my divorce to realize that that thinking was really wrong. Not only was it wrong because it brought so much resentment in my own life, but also it put an unfair expectation. And that was a really huge lesson for me to learn. Um, oh, thank you, Olivia. I really appreciate that. MSJ, it's so interesting how it seems like such a basic idea, but people really do not understand that. We always think that I'll get to myself last. If I take care of the kids, I take care of my family, I take care of work, and I take care of my spouse, then if there's time left over, then I will be able to take care of me. Or if there's money left over, I'll spend that money with me. But we all know how that story goes. There is never time left over. There is never money left over. And you keep getting into this circle of, in this spiral of never quite getting to you. I did this for those of y'all that also don't know. I'm a school administrator by day, and I'm lucky that I have been doing this for a long time. So I was able to get an executive coach this year. And so one of the things that he had us do yesterday was, hey, Dumpy Plumpkins, I love that name. One of the things that he had us do yesterday was to make this circle within a circle is a web. And he put down all of the different stakeholders in our work. Good morning. One was parent, student, community, self, um, classroom, teachers, etc. And he had us rank the priorities. And what was so interesting was that almost all of us that were in that room put ourselves as last. And he really challenged us with that thinking that said, how can you take care of your teachers and take care of your students, take care of your parents in your classrooms if you're not developing and taking care of yourself? And it showed me again how, yes, see, I see with those hearts, y'all are really understanding how we all have that mentality. And he again challenged us in our career to think about, if you're taking care of yourself last, you don't have anything else to give to people that really are impacted by your work. And so I've been doing, again, some more thinking about that. And one of the things I realized that I was taking care of last growing up, my voice is so soothing. You know what it is that I'm on all day and all during the week, and I have my coffee hasn't kicked in yet, and I don't want to scream. I'm also practicing slowing down because I talk really, really fast. Um, but one of the things I realized I was not taking care of and it had become a big stressor in my life was my finances. Um, like I told y'all, I didn't grow up necessarily with the best models of how to take care of money. For me, it was normal to dodge the bill collectors growing up. There were some people coming by the house, and this is, I'm showing my age a little bit, when bill collectors still came to the house, and somebody would call, and my mother would tell us not to pick up the phone, and, hi, Danielle. Or we had the saying, you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. And so that's the mentality and that's the lifestyle that I grew up in. And then I continue making those poor choices into my adulthood, even when I had money. And that's the thing that was so strange to me because I knew better, but I wasn't doing better. I was making a great income as a teacher back when I was teaching, and I had money, but I would still spend it in all the wrong ways. Um, oh, thank you. And I would do things like have money in my bank account, but not pay my credit card. Have money in my bank account, but go out and eat every day. And then what was left over, I would use that money to spend on bills, which obviously wasn't enough. And what I couldn't understand for myself and wrap my head around when I was in my 20s was, why was I doing this even though I know that it was so stressful for me? It was stressful. I did not enjoy being stressed out, worrying about, could I pay my rent? Could I buy new clothes because I had spent my money in really crazy ways? And when I would look at my bank account, I would realize I was never that person going out to buy Prada bags and Gucci this. I was spending it on $5 and $10 purchases. I would trick away $500 with $3 purchases. And it was so strange. And I realized it was a mentality. And part of the mentality was that, one, I thought I was undeserving, so I would never actually buy things that I cared about. But I would feel like if I spent the money, then if it was an emergency, I wouldn't have any money. Without thinking that by ruining my credit, I was creating opportunities for emergencies. And by ruining my credit, I was creating more of an opportunity for me not to be able to borrow if I absolutely needed it. So it took me really going through my divorce and having to stand on my own again as a 30-something-year-old woman and realizing that I can be a good steward of my money. And by being a good steward of my money, it's not just around raising my credit score, even though I raised it over 100 points, but it was really about eliminating stress in my life. So thank you guys. Does anybody else experience that or have these weird relationships with money that, you don't quite know why you do it, but you know that something is wrong and it needs to be fixed? One of my biggest lessons that I learned in that journey was that the answer was not making more money. We all have played the lottery at some point. I think if I just need that job where I'm making $20,000 more or $30,000 more. Danielle, that's so interesting why we go through that, right? And I'm going to be honest, y'all. I'm 37 and I did not get it, like truly, truly get it until I was 35. I had to change my mind exactly. And what I had to change my mind about was that money is a tool. It's not something to be feared. It's not something to run away from. And it's something that you can change your relationship with. One of the books that really helped me to get close and get some clarity about what was going on was this book called Girl, Get Your Money Straight. And I'm going to show you a link to where you guys can go get that. Don't buy it now. Go on my blog and buy it. But it was really an instrumental book for me to get my ideas about money. And really, I just got tired of being stressed out. after you've been through a divorce, after you suffer 3 miscarriages, your capacity for stress is very low. Thank you for coming back in, Miss J, Christina. And I wanted to really create this life that was empowering for me. And girl, I'm good. I promise you, I am so good right now. And I wanted to create a life that was empowering for me, not just for myself because I felt like I deserved it, but I have a 6-year-old daughter and I wanted to model for her the kind of woman that I want her to be. And I couldn't do that by being in a toxic relationship. I couldn't do that by treating my money wrong. And I wanted her to be able to live a life of love, love for herself, love for the person that she's with, and sometimes love in making the toughest decisions. And I'm going off on a tangent, y'all, but this is real for me. When I got divorced, and I asked for the divorce, which is equally taboo, is people say, well, what happened? Did somebody cheat? Was there a fight? And I'm like, none of that. It was not working anymore. And it wasn't working in very, very unhealthy ways that my daughter was experiencing. And the best thing that I can do in love was to leave and to model for her that I love you too much for you to grow up in this kind of household. And I love you too much for this to become the model of a relationship. And you know what happened? Because God is so amazing. God is so amazing. When I left, it forced her mother and I to have a better relationship. We could not relate to each other as partners, but we can relate to our child as parents. And we were absolutely committed to that. And I ended up moving out of the state, and it worked. My daughter and I FaceTimed every day, and well, I'm going to, MSJ Christina, you said that you keep getting kicked out. I'm going to upload this to my blog as well. So if you don't get a chance to see it fully, you can come back and watch the rebroadcast. We FaceTimed every day. I went out to visit about every month or every other month. And when I went out there, her mother was very gracious and allowed me to stay in the house so that we can create normalcy for my child. My daughter came out every holiday, and we even had a co-parenting birthday, which was really interesting when we brought our respective girlfriends and hung out and stayed together for an entire weekend. Since then, the fast forward story is we realized that our love was still very much strong because we were able to stay committed to our daughter in the most difficult of situations. And we rekindled and got back together and bought a house and are living happily ever after, which is so not what I ever envisioned. Danielle, it is progressive when I look back at it, but to me, it was extremely simple. Ego or my child. Simple as that. Ego meant staying and trying to be right. Ego meant fighting about who is right and who deserves what. Ego is not thinking about what's best for my child. Love is about, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you think my breath stank and I ain't shit. Excuse me, y'all. But we got to get this right for my child, and that's just the bottom line. And we both had some growing up to do and realizing what being grown and being parents were about, and that experience was really important to us. So all of that brings me to the topic about what I'm doing now to continue to eliminate stress around finances. So I don't know if you had an opportunity to see my other Periscope broadcast earlier in the week or last week. I can't remember exactly which day it was, but I talked about how one of the things that I do now, because I can't make more money. Well, I can make more money, but what I can do better is to be a good steward of my money that I have now. So I really think about how can I maximize the money that I have so that I'm making good choices that still allow me to live the lifestyle I want. Because I'm telling y'all, I don't enjoy being broke. I'm not one of those people that's going to eat ramen noodles and hot dogs for the sake of saving money. That's never going to be me. I can't take my money with me. I can't leave it to my children, but I'm not going to be unhappy in my pursuit to save money or to maximize my money. That just ain't me. So all those people like, I quit my job and I lived on somebody's floor for 3 years into my business. No, ma'am. Ain't gonna, I'm not cut out for that. I grew up poor. Poor is not cute or noble to me. That's just my values. But what I can do is maximize how I spend my money so that I can really allocate my money to places that enrich my life and that are aligned with my values. I'm really big about having a values aligned life. So one of the first things that I did, and I just did this as recently as last week, was I cut my cable. And that was a hard decision for me, which was so weird because I don't even watch a lot of TV. I watch maybe like 2 or 3 shows, and most of it's on Netflix. And I'm the kind of person that I'll get into a TV show after it's off the air for 5 years, and I'll go back and realize how good of a show it was. So I cut my cable, but I still wanted to be able, for real. You know why I said F cable too, Danielle? And I lived in New York for a lot of years, so I'm a cursor. I'm trying to wash my mouth and not drop the bombs that I really want to be dropping. It's because at the end of the day, I'm getting terrible customer service. I'm getting mediocre shows for the most part, and I'm making somebody else rich. And I'm not about that life for real. I'm keeping my money for myself and about maximizing my life for my child. You know what? Go, girl. I'm so glad you gave up trying not to cuss. But yeah, that's another scope for another time. But I'm not about that life trying to make somebody else rich for something that truly doesn't even benefit me or align with my mission. But I still have my guilty pleasures. I love Catfish. I don't know why I like that show so much. It is so ratchet. I got into Empire recently. I love Scandal. Now, y'all, I'm such a scandal fiend that my teachers at my school call me Olivia Pope. And all of my professional development, I find a way to work in Olivia and Fitz. Like, I'm crazy obsessive. I'm also in the Beehive, so y'all know I have the capacity for obsession. And so I really still wanted to be able to watch those shows. But I wasn't trying to, Danielle, you think I'm lying? If I have time at the end of the scope, I'm going to show you a PowerPoint I created for one of my teachers and how I used Olivia romance with Fitz to illustrate when you are trying to get a constructive response from students, you need to be thoughtful about all of the components that go into a good constructive response so that you can figure out what's missing and what you need to teach them. So I use the example of why does Olivia keep going back to Fitz, and modeled for them what a good, thorough answer should be, and how you have to know the backstory, and you have to know about motivation, and you have to know about internal conflict in order to be able to answer that question. I don't play. So I cut cable. I still want to be able to be on my social media and, you know, go through and be live and periscoping and tweeting with y'all. But I'm not paying cable anymore. So cut to the long story short, this is what I did. Let me show y'all. Oh, that's my messy bedroom and bathroom. I should have got my scope together a little bit more. So if you go to my website, www.ltheoryexperience.com, the first thing that you're going to see is a pop-up that's going to say for you to subscribe, and that's just so you can get a week of self-care. It's this ebook, and I'm just being really honest, y'all. My book is the bomb. It is so exciting because not only is it giving you tips, and so you're not going to just get some lame ebook where you just get a list of things to do, but really it gives you the rationale behind why that activity is self-care, and it gives you some reflection, and it gives you next steps and tips about what you can do to get started. Plus, one of the things, that I've been doing with my folks that have signed up for that book is I've been going through making sure and holding them accountable to make sure that they are actually doing the activities in the book. Hey, Minister of Style. Hey, Sage. I see my girls are on it. Hey, I'm so excited y'all joined me. I was looking for y'all. So you go to my website. Good morning. I'm sorry, y'all. I love Minister Style. We go way back to our days. Hey, Sage. I don't want to call you out your government because I don't know if y'all okay with that. But we go way back to the days of naturality and hair, and we just really bonded in real life. And so I got to show my girl what I got here. You see that, Minister? My iced coffee on deck. And I saved some coins this morning and made my own iced coffee. So let me quickly get to the point because I got somebody. You was on naturality, Danielle? That was my scream. Who were you on naturality? I was Liberty ACC. I was always some spinoff of Liberty, and I was an OG. And you might know my wife because that's where we met. Anyway, long story short, get back to my point. So anyway, go to my blog. I remember you. Go to my blog, get your free book. If you have not subscribed, get your free book because I really want to support you on that journey. So when you go on my blog, you will see this beautiful device. Amplified HDTV antenna, 50 miles range. And that's the souped up one. So y'all, you don't even need the souped up one. But the one I got was a souped up one for $36. And you are able to see the clearest TV ever. the clearest TV in live time, no cable. And the only thing that you need to be able to do in order to get this amazing TV, and I actually got channels that I didn't even know existed, like Bounce Channel. These are the things I got after I cut cable. Is that I Googled to see where my closest TV stations were, and they were only 13 miles away. So I could have got the one that was 25 miles away, had the 25-mile range, and it only cost $12. But I wanted to just test out what this one was like, and it was just like thebomb.com. So go back to my website, and if you go to, I don't know which scope it was, one of these scopes, it will show you what that clarity looked like, or I'll be happy to inbox anybody so you can see a sample of what my TV looks like. It is so bomb. I paid no bill, and I literally shaved $100 off my cable bill. I still have about a $65 bill because I have a very, very high speed internet access. It's like 300 Mbps, and I can't remember what Mbps stands for. I think it's megabytes per second. But yeah, that's what it stands for, megabytes per second. And that's just for clarity, or just for, so I can make the comparison, that's the same size that a school runs on. So I'm running that kind of speed in my house, and that's costing me about $65 a month. Free. I mean, not free. Yeah, the TV is free. I just paid $36. So y'all, that is for real business. But I also lost DVR. However, I signed up for Hulu. So with Hulu, you can go back and watch those shows, and I pay, I think, $7 a month for Hulu, the Hulu Plus, so that I can have the non-commercial able to look at it. So let me quickly get to it, because I got somebody else coming to my house right now to buy some of my furniture that simply I don't like and I don't use. Another way I save money, don't play, selling my nightstand for $30. She should be here in about 5 minutes. So other quick thing, I said I was going to be fast, and I'm sorry, now I'm starting to speed up. You go to my products page that I say tips. Go to products. Oh, you tell them about Sling. Sling is apparently a website where you can go. I can't remember. So, Minister, you go on and tell them about Sling. This is where I wish I had that other service so we can all chat. But really quick, go to my products page. Go to where it says Amazon Experience. Another way you can get there is go to bit.ly. Yes, Blab. Danielle, did I read it from, maybe it was on your site that I read about Blab, because I was like, I know somebody just blogged about that. L Theory Deals. Y'all, this is a life changer for me. And I'm sorry, my camera's a little bit shaky. I haven't eaten yet. I'm hypoglycemic, so my hands are doing the shakies right now, but I'll be all right. Go to household items. In your household items, and I played around with this, I put down every household item that I like. Why this is amazing, 2 things. You can sign up to get all your household items auto delivered to your house. That means no more fighting with all of those heavy items in the grocery store trying to get them in your house, especially when you live in an apartment. You can have a box of your toilet paper, your Bounty, your garbage bags, your Tide Pods, all of your favorite brands delivered to your house, and you can put it on a subscription so that it automatically delivers with the frequency that you set. Y'all, is that not bomb.com or what? You don't have to lug all of that stuff. You can have a beautiful little box come to your front door of all of your household items. But wait, there's more. And this is the part that makes me so excited. Real quick, because I did some price comparison. People think, well, I can just go to Walmart. I can go whatever to say the price. So I'm going to show you how my proof. This Cottonelle is a 12 double roll. It's $9.99. And you might think, oh, that's a little bit high, because at Walmart, they're selling that same one for, let me see, that same one is $6.97. So on face value, you're going to think, oh my God, that's cheaper. Why don't I just order from Walmart? This is why it's a big deal. When you look at those shipping costs, the shipping costs are what? $4, $7, etc. When you order it through Amazon and you set it up, your shipping is what? Free. So you already saved $2. Yes, you can absolutely do that with all your vitamins and household items too if you have that Prime. Look up for your promo codes to get that Prime. So I'm going to walk you through what it looks like, how you're going to do it when you're going from my site. And please, y'all, I do get coins when y'all order through my site. So I'm going to be completely transparent and ask you all to order through my site. I would appreciate it. It's absolutely not mandatory, because this practice can work no matter if you go on your own Amazon site. But if you order through me, I do get a commission. That's why I'm asking you to. Also, anytime you start off on my site and you go order something else, I get a commission off of that. So I just appreciate that. Again, it's not necessary, but I want to be transparent and real because we are all women trying to save what? Save money so we can practice better self-care. You add it to your shopping cart. You proceed to checkout. It says, do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Proceed to checkout. Shipping to my address. Continue. And see, notice that because I have Prime, it has that free 2-day business, free 4 to 5 day business. I'm not doing 1-day business, but I'm just going to choose that that one. You only see all my credit card bills or accounts. I think it's because I already did it on here. You can't see. But either way, underneath, there's a place right here that says click for your subscription. And that's where it's going to ask you to choose your frequency. So I had already gone through and set up my cart when I was practicing it earlier to make sure that it all worked correctly. But that's all that you have to do. And so that's really awesome because that's a way for you to, one, save stress about ordering products that you hate lugging around the grocery store. I absolutely hate. Me and the grocery store do not get along. And for the longest, I was shopping at Trader Joe's because it has 5 aisles. But I still needed my household items because I prefer, the typical traditional brands. And so I set up my Amazon so they can deliver all of that to my house and I can minimize my time in the store with my 6-year-old who want me to buy everything and that impulsive time when you feel hungry so you want to buy everything. So this has really streamlined that. Oh, the other thing I forgot to show y'all is that Amazon has coupons. You do not get better than that. It's like somebody delivering your household items to your house. It's cheaper. You get it the next day. You don't have to think about ordering it again because it replenishes with the frequency you set up. And they have coupons. If they can just send a masseuse and a nail person to my house too, I'll be in heaven. So the last quick thing, for real, them kids, this is how I fix my daughter a little bit. Where's your allowance? Oh, you didn't bring your allowance? I guess you're not buying anything. It ain't happening. Don't be conveniently forgetting to leave your money at home and think that I'm going to be buying these impulses. But we all know the truth. You just want them to be quiet sometimes. So you just be like, eat this chips, eat this candy, stop talking. Let me get out the store. Yay! Yes, I'm so happy that you're able to get in. And the last quick thing, and I'll have to do a whole new scope about it later, that I've been using to save money. Eyes in here, close your ears. But under my Be Healthy, Be Fit page, I got to show y'all that beautiful thing right there called a Diva cup. It's a menstrual cup. It is the bomb. It feels awkward, but I'm a grown woman. I don't mind touching my body. And I go in there. It's, you clean it once a month. You can wear it for 12 hours a day. No leakage. No buying tampons. No buying pads. No buying all of those things. Lifesaver. That $27, will spend up in about 3 months. And this Diva cup, I would say you should probably change yours out maybe every once a year or every few months. I'm not sure how many times you should change it, but about once a year, 18 months. So another place. I have my Fitbit. I also save money with that because Danielle's going to kick me, but I'm not into fitness or, working out. But I do believe in being healthy and I track my steps. And I really have found that my weight and my stress has gone down when I keep my 10,000 steps. And so I'm also extremely, extremely competitive. So I compete with my friends over Fitbit. Fitbit has a feature on it that allows you to follow people. You can compete in different daily challenges, etc., around your steps. So that's it from my scope for today. Thank y'all so much for joining on. And if you just joined on at the tail end, I think I saw a sidewalk, somebody, sorry. Just give me a heart just to say if you found one tip that you found helpful. And I can't wait to see y'all next time.